All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. I hope my voice is coming good and clear. We were away for maybe 2 days. The Muslims, they are doing their best to flag my videos, but still YouTube is being fair. So that's very good, and their attempt was a failure. Anyway, as you know, we have many accounts in case, and nobody can stop us. However, I took this as an advantage for me, actually. This is what the topic will be about today, so you will see on the screen. But when the Muslim, they flag my videos, actually I said to myself, that's perfect, I will go back and work on my books. So now I'm going back and working in the translation of the Quran, which I started a while ago, because many of you keep asking me why you don't do it, why you don't do it. So I decided to finish it. So now I'm back to work in the Quran translation. And not only that, once of you asked me why we don't have a Quran translation according to the revelation, which means the original way. So I'm going to do the Quran, which is going to be the first time a Quran translated in such a way, which is according to revelation as Muhammad claimed, which means we start from chapter 96 to be the first chapter as it is shows up in Islamic source. So the Muslim, they stop me, but you cannot stop me, because if I don't go live on air, I will be doing something else. It's going to be even more harmful to the cult of Islam. So don't try me, Muslims, don't try me. Now I'm not going to stay long, because as I said, I decided to finish this book. As you see in the front of us, this is a picture of women, makeup, perfume. You see, one of the things about Islam is the hypocrisy of Muhammad. Muhammad is a man who blamed the women for everything, but he don't mind to have a lot of them. The woman is the devil, the woman is the ugly, the women, she come in the image of in the shape of the devil, and she retreat in the image of the devil. But yet he have 13 of them, and not only that, he made verses that Allah said to him, take as many as you wish of them. Any woman, she can give herself to you. So the woman who is in the shape of the devil, as we see in the hadith, just to refresh the memory of some people, just to be sure that we are not making things up. Muhammad, he don't mind to look at the women, enjoy their body, getting horny, and yet he blamed the women for making him excited. And then when a woman, she walked by, he could not handle himself, and obviously he is looking a very dirty way, because looking at the women will not make you horny unless you are thinking about it. And you know, we men, we know what we are talking about. You know, we will not, you know, if you see a woman in the street, why she is going to make you excited sexually unless you are thinking about her sexually. Let us say you have a sister, she is beautiful. Are you going to be excited to see her sexually? No. Why? Because she's your sister, supposedly, right? So you get excited because you think about someone is possible to be someone you enjoy looking at. And this is a prophet of God who is supposedly a decent man, who is a man of God. He is not me or you. This is a prophet. And yet the Muslim, even they claim that he is the best of mankind, which means he have the best morality, he have the best character, he have the best ethic. But I never saw any good in the ethic of Muhammad. And as you see here, a woman, she was walking by Muhammad, he go and get horny after he look, stare at the woman, staring at her, you know, body parts. The woman, she did nothing wrong. She's not wearing a bikini. She's wearing Islamic clothes and wearing in front of him, and that still did not prevent Muhammad from being a horny man. Now here we see that the stupidity of the burqa, that the burqa did not prevent a man from thinking of women. Maybe it's going to do the opposite. I remember once, this was a year ago or 2 years ago, I was in the beach swimming, and then a man, he came and his wife were in a burqa. And actually when I swim, I like to be far away from everybody, you know. I take a side where it's not busy. And this is why this Abdul, he decided to come to the side where I am. So he and his wife, she's wearing a burqa. They jump in the water, and he got close to me, and then when he got close to me, he said, please, can you keep a distance? I said to him, you are the one who came here, you keep a distance. I am here before you, so why you don't keep a distance yourself? Why you came here? Did you see me here before you? The Abdul get upset, and he ordered his wife, he spoke to her like a goat, and he ordered her to get out. But when she got out, now the burqa, she's wearing nothing underneath, you can see every single details in her body, the fabric stuck in her body as it is a tissue. And you know what I'm talking about, so you can see everything, you know. Yes, she is wearing a burqa, but the fact the burqa never stop somebody from thinking about a woman in a disgusting way or a dirty way. And actually burqa increased desire for women. Why? Because you became more curious to see what is underneath of this thing. This is why, you know, in Islamic countries where more burqa exists, more crime, sexual crime exist too, because you want to see what is underneath. And when you take what is underneath, you get disgusted and you run away. So the burqa actually is a very good thing for many women in Islamic countries, especially those who they are not good looking, because in the street everybody look the same, you know. So a man, he chase her, he want to talk to her, he feel in love, she speak to him, she's beautiful, etc. It's like internet stuff where the man, he claimed that he is 7 foot tall and he is etc. What is your color of your eyes? Blue eyes. How tall are you? 8 foot, you know. And what about you? Oh, I am etc. The women, she start describing someone she never even, you know, imagined to be. So internet lies, but the burqa is exactly the same. There's a guy, actually, I know his story, and this is a real story, not like Sahih Bukhari, where the man, he married a woman, he go to her family, he asked for a woman to marry her, and they gave him her sister. So when they went there, he opened the burqa and he found different product, you know, and for sure there is a return policy. So burqa never been something for good. It was the opposite. It make society more corrupt. Women, they can do cheat and nobody even knows. They can go. I mean, even if you see your wife walking with somebody in the street, but she's wearing burqa, how you will know this is your wife? You will not know. You will not know. It doesn't matter who is she. You will never know who is she, and you don't have the. You don't even can, like, you cannot ask her to show me your face. So this is why in the Bible, in the Old Testament, you will see that there's a story about a woman. They thought she is a whore because she was wearing a burqa. Why? In the old days, women who do prostitution, they cover their face because this is the only way to hide their identity, and nobody will, you know, will go after them in the street. Now here, in front of us, we see Muhammad seeing a woman wearing burqa, yet he is excited. He go to his wife, and look, he claimed that women, they advance and retire in the shape of the devil. But this is not the only issue. We go back to the image. As you see in front of us, we have perfume. Now, many of you will say to himself, I mean, what does have to do with Islam? Muhammad, he did not leave anything. He did not put his nose in it. So imagine Muhammad, he said that if a woman, she wear a perfume, and that perfume is not only inside her door, which means inside the house, and if she wore a perfume and she go out in the street, she is a whore. As simple as that. A woman wearing a perfume in the street, she is a whore. Let us see the reference. Hold on. Read carefully with me. The Messenger of Allah said, any woman who puts a perfume, which means on her, then passes by people so that they can smell her fragrance, she is an adulteress. Just for doing that. If we ask the Muslims, can a Muslim man wear a perfume in front of the people? They say yes. Do the Prophet Muhammad, he wear a perfume? They say yes. So how come if the women, she wear a perfume, she is a whore, but if a man, he wear a perfume, he's okay? If you are saying to me that a man can be tempted by the perfume, well, don't the women get tempted too by perfume? So you're assuming that always the women is the guilty, and the women she is the evil, and when she put the perfume, she is trying to tempt somebody and seduce him. But when a man, you see the man, he can show his face. Why women they cannot be tempted by a face of a man or a look of a man? Who told you that? Why we don't order the man to cover with burqa too? What is the logic of the burqa? If the logic is that men get tempted by seeing women, well, women get tempted by seeing men. If the perfume will tempt a man, well, a perfume will tempt a woman. So why Muhammad, he himself, he enjoy, and look what he said in the hadith. He said that Allah gave him a joy. The best of what joys he have is the joy of women and perfume. Allah Messenger said, women and perfume have been made dear to me. Okay, this guy, he have no shame, he's not shy to say, well, this and this is my best thing in this, in you know, like in this dunya, which mean in this world. So why Muhammad can go and wear his perfume and women they can smell it? Why women they can offer themselves? Can a woman offer herself to different man except Muhammad, or only to Muhammad? So you will see here the hypocrisy of this cult, how disgusting it is. Everything is upside down. If the women she have some perfume, she is a whore. But remember, Muhammad, he have no problem that women she is renting herself for sex for one night stand, and she is not a whore. But if you have a perfume, you are a whore. So actually there's a hadith, Muhammad, he said, if a woman she have a perfume, she left her house with perfume, Allah will never forgive her, and she will never go to heaven. Now let me find you the hadith, just to show you we are not making things up. You know, because the Muslims, they might say, oh, this is not true, what this guy is saying. I don't like to say something unless I can prove it. Let me search for the hadith and trying to find it. So just by having a perfume, you will not be able to go and attend heaven, which means you are cursed forever, and this is your crime. Do you see it? Why? Why Muhammad? Why the Muslim men they can go out the house with perfume? Why the man he can? Why Muhammad he color his hair? But if the woman she do so, Allah curse her. Why Muhammad he ordered them to trim their mustache or even to shave their mustache? But if the woman she take hair from her face, Allah will curse her. Do we have any Muslim here to say something about this? As you notice here, this is all proving nothing but deception and corruption of this man. This man, he don't want to say, he don't want to admit that he is the corrupt man. He want to claim the women for corruption, to the point Muhammad he said, if not Eve, no woman will betray her husband. And the funny Muhammad, he claimed that he don't believe in the original sin, but he have no problem to blame the sin of every human being on women going back to Eve, which means if today if a man he do something wrong, it is the women who betray, and this woman betraying because she is the same as Eve. If not Eve, so all the women in the world they follow the example of Eve. Eve is the best example of corruption. So you notice here how Islam focus very much on putting the women down, making her look always like a whore. She is the devil, she is the ugly, she is the disgusting. And yet Muhammad in the heaven, he will give you each one of you at least 72 women just for sex. But they are the devil. The same as the wine. The wine is made by the devil, but yet in the heaven he will have a river of wine for you. So in different hadith. Let us see if we can find the other one, the one we told you about. She will not go to heaven. Yeah, I think we saw it. Yeah, the Messenger of Allah said, any woman who has perfumed with incense should not attend Isha the later with us. This is a stupid translation. I mean, Muslims, when they translate, it's the most stupid translation. I mean, why are you adding words there in Arabic? Isn't it this is supposed to be translation? So how somebody will know what Isha mean now? And this is not about having the Isha, you idiot. This is about the end of the time, not later with us. This is not about later with us. Stupid translation. This is about the judgment day. Asha'ul akhirah, not later. Al-akhirah. I mean, when the Muslim translate, their translation not only funny, it's stupid. This is why I want to finish the Quran translation, so it's going to be ready soon. So the women, she will not attend with us. What Aisha? You know, when you remember when Muhammad, he said, when the Muslims, they go to the heaven, Allah will feed them, and especially the men, he will feed them from the liver of the whale. And I think many of you knows already why. Allah will give them the liver of the whale, because that will give them extra power for sex. The Arab believed, I forgot what the name in English. I spoke about it in my book, Sex and Allah. You can check it out. There is a special hormone in the whale, or even in the deer, exists in the deer. So that hormone have a very nice smell, and it is natural body production by the male to seduce the female. This is for the animals. So this is why this part, they call it amber, actually amber in Arabic. Let us see what amber will turn into in English. Hold on. I think they call it amber in English. Amber. Yeah, I think it's called amber. So when it's a sexual hormone, and it's very expensive. So when you go to heaven, Allah will provide you with this amber. I'm trying to find the English word. I think it was amber in English. It's the same almost, because I think this is not even an Arabic word anyway. No. Anyway, so the Muslims, when they go to heaven, Allah will prepare them in a special way to be very, very strong in sex. And if you remember, Muhammad, he promised them that when you go there, Allah will give you a penis will never go sleep. And how he can do that? Simply by the food they will eat, which is amber and the liver of the whale. This is why when a Jewish man, he asked Muhammad, what is the meal? What is the first meal people they enter heaven is going to be? Muhammad, he said to him, the kidney of the whale. We find it here. The Jewish on that prophet recite the verse, okay, and then it says, okay, okay, what is the first meal? So he asked him, what is the first meal people of paradise they will eat? Look what Muhammad he said. For the first meal for the people of heaven, of paradise, it will be the cowdit. Is that a correct translation? The liver is cowdit, the liver. I'm not sure. I don't know what this word means in English. It should be the liver if the translation is accurate. So the first actually here it says the fish liver. Here we go. I extra in front of us. I extra loop of the fish liver. See it? So you notice that this religion, your reward is women, your heaven is about women, is about sex, is about vagina, but women are the most discriminated person in this cult. A man, he can have 4 of them, but yet they are the devil. So we can have 4 devil. Women are evil, but Muhammad, he have 13 wives, plus God knows how many hundreds of sex slaves. Women are disgusting, but Muhammad, he liked 2 things in this earth: women and perfume. I mean, what kind of hypocrisy this cult is? The women, she cannot wear a perfume because the second she do so, she became a whore. She is an adulteress. But Muhammad, he have no problem if he wear a perfume and he tempt women. Because if the perfume, the problem with it, if a woman she wear it, she is tempting men, then why the man can tempt women? This is an Islamic website. They are asking, if a woman she is wearing perfume and she go out with her husband, they say there's no problem with that. But if she's alone, look what it says: putting on perfume and going out with the aim of letting non-muhram, this is what's stupid about Muslim translation again. Non-muhram, muhram mean a male who is from your family, is either your husband, your brother, your father. That is called him muhram. So if non-muhram go out, which means none of your family, men smell it, that is a major sin in Islam. Do you see it? This is haram. This is a major sin. So having sex with the children is not major sin. Doing breastfeeding for adult is not major sin. Doing Mutah is not major sin. Multiplying your wives is not major sin, with no limit, by the way, because they say to you 4 wives. This is a lie. 4 wives you can have in the same time, but there's no limit. You can divorce every day, new wives, and marry new wives. So perfume, having perfume is a sin, will make you a whore, as we showed you in the hadith. So how we can say that this religion is religion of ethic? Is that ethical? Is that really what make an ethic? Is that what going to establish ethic? Obviously, the founder of Islam do not know even what ethic mean. Can you see the screen, guys? Okay. So if this is ethic, this is stupid. Muhammad having verses saying any woman she want to give her private part to him is ethical. Muhammad coloring his hair red is ethical. Women, they take hair from their face is not ethical. That will make Allah angry. Why Allah will be angry if a woman she take hair from her face? It was narrated from Ibn Abu Musa that the Prophet said, if a woman put a perfume and passes by the people so they can smell it, smell her fragrance, then she is such and such. You see, this is a false translation. He did not say such and such. He said she is a whore. She is a whore and a whore. She is an adulteress. Means because she exposed to zina. Oh, by wearing perfume, you are exposed to adultery. Marrying a woman for one night stand, or you know, the Muslim Sunni, if you have my book Sex and Allah, you will see how many kind of marriage they have. None of them is marriage. How many of you have a Sex and Allah book? If you have it from the beginning, from volume number 1, you will see there is marriages before Islam and there is marriages after Islam. And you will notice that marriages before Islam, Arab are very, I mean, it's very open society. But after Islam, nothing changed. It's the same. All what they do, they change the definition and they change the name and they change the rules, but it's the same. Because still you can have, before Islam, women, she can have more than one husband in the same time. Before, after Islam, the man can have many more than wife in the same time, but it's the same. What is different? Why it's okay for a man to have many wives, but it's not okay for the woman to have many husbands? I mean, what is the logic? They say to you the logic is we want to know who is the father. Well, today we can know who is the father easy. A little test with the DNA, we can know. It's very easy. And you will notice in Arabia before Islam, when the woman she get pregnant from multiple men, which means she have up to 10 husbands. 10 husbands, imagine. She choose who is the father. She say, this is your son, and whatever she choose, he accept. This is the rules. So the problem is solved. So this is not, there's no ethic here. You see, when God he created Adam, he created one Adam, one Eve. The Muslim, they will say to you, do you know how many women David he have? Who told you that David he was doing what God told him? Show me. When he said to him, go and marry as many as you wish. David was a sinner. He cried to God asking for forgiveness. He was doing what kings do with all their corruption and bad ethic. Do you think David is, you know, we Christian, we don't believe, same as Muslim, they believe that Muhammad was a amazing man. The Bible teaches us that every man is a sinner except the Lord, the God, who came in a form of a man, but he never commits sin. So you will notice here how the corruption of Islam and how always the corruption is blamed on the women. But in the Muslim Sunni, they have something called zawaj friend. If I go right now, let me search for it in Google. If I search for zawaj friend, let us see. What is zawaj friend? Here we go. You can search yourself. I even search for it in English. Zawaj friend. Zawaj friend mean you go and you find a woman, you want to sleep with her. All right, and you agree to have sex, but she is legally supposed to be your wife. But she is the point of this what called marriage is not marriage, is having sex. You go and rent a hotel, you know, and then you know you have sex. They have zawaj al-musyar, they have zawaj friend, they have a travel marriage. Like you want to go from New York to Los Angeles, you don't want to take your wife with you. So what do? You arrive in the hotel in Los Angeles or New York, and you say to the hotel, do you have like a girl, she can marry me for 3 days, I will stay here. She come with the suit, like with the reservation, and then you do Islamic contract, but they call it marriage. But the fact, this is not having to do with marriage. So they have Mutah, still they do Mutah, but they different, they give it different name. The Sunni, they lie about the Shia. They say only the Shia they practice Mutah. But the fact, the Muslim, they still practice Mutah, but they have given it different titles. What is exactly, this is a guy saying, in the Sunni school of thought, there is apparently something called zawaj friend, which is apparently similar to boyfriend girlfriend relationship. So I have a few questions. What is exactly the difference between zawaj friend and misyar? Is that practice accepted in my mainstream Sunni? Are there any other things such this zawaj friend misyar in the Sunni faith? Is this practice as talked about and propagated often, etc.? So this guy is asking question about why the Muslim Sunni, he is look like a Shia. I think he is asking why they do that. Yeah, but anyway, so they have all kind of madness. But perfume will make you, wearing a perfume will make you a whore. But having a contract to sleep with the man in the hotel for 3 or 4 days and getting paid for it is not a prostitution in Islam. But you wearing a perfume, that will make you a whore. Zawaj friend, simply, you don't even live together. You only have, like, you rent a motel room for 2 hours to have sex. So she is your wife only during that time, and they call it zawaj friend. I mean, do you see this cult? You see, they fabricate everything. They say when a Muslim he says we are against adultery, you need to know Islamic adultery definition is different from adultery in Christianity or Judaism. There's no adultery in Islam. All what you need to do adultery in Islam, you have to do it by the rules, because everything is adultery. They don't have marriage. This is why a Muslim man, if he speak to you, if you meet a man, a Muslim man in Facebook or etc., the first time you speak to him, he might ask for your hand to marry you. Any ladies here encounter that? Right away he want to marry you, especially if you need a green card or a visa or etc. So because you don't care, for him it's just a sex contract. There's nothing called marriage. In 2 seconds he will ask for your leg or your hand. Marry me. Yesterday I was watching a funny video. A guy, he is like 26 and he have a woman, honest to God, she is like 100-year-old, and he was recalling himself with her and he is kissing her head and he said, this is my lovely wife, and supposedly she asked him to prove that he really loved her and make a video like this, otherwise he would marry her for the papers. So he decided to prove to her that he did not marry her for the paper, so he made this video. All right, obviously, you know, if you see her, you will die laughing. So zawaj a friend, misyar, travel marriage, it's like a laptop. Yet a woman, she wear a perfume, she is a whore. Let us see what else. See here, I wish I can play for you those videos, but we cannot. They are talking about zawaj a friend. You see the sheikh here. You can search for them. Sunni version of Mutah. Misyar marriage is a unique Sunni Muslim innovation. Misyar marriage defined as an official. I don't know. Can you read, guys? Is the text clear or so small? Is the text clear or is it so small? Let me see if I can make it bigger. The problem, this website, if I make the text bigger, it still doesn't make any difference because I have to zoom out. You can? Okay. So anyway, you can search for those. Like as an example, misyar marriage. What is this stupid misyar marriage? It's the same as Mutah. It's the same. They just give it different names. All of it is just about sex. So the idea is in Islam that you can do adultery, but just do it as the Prophet said, and you are safe. You want to have sex, you are horny, you want to hire a woman to have sex with you, just do it in a halal way. Nothing more, nothing less. They speak too much about ethic and dignity, and our women are like juries, but in Islamic cultures is the most scary culture ever. I grew up all my life in the Middle East, and I know what it is. If women there, they knew there is a guy, he is single and he have a phone. Like in the old days, we don't have cell phone, as you remember, like cell phone started maybe 1998, 96, I don't remember. But before that, it's only landline. So your name is the yellow pages. And if they knew that this number is for a single guy, even if you are married, they don't care. Your phone number will not stop. Women, they will be calling you. You answer the phone, you will see a woman whispering, sorry, I cannot talk loud. Why? My husband is here. My husband is here. Corruption, adultery, cheating. But the outside look of the society, everybody wearing burqa, everybody have a beard, everybody wearing white clothes, everybody saying inshallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah, etc. But if you go under the table, you will see all the worms by millions. It's upside society. You see, in the West, if a woman she have a boyfriend, she say I have a boyfriend. in Islamic countries, they don't have a boyfriend, they have hundreds. The same woman, she will be dating many because she don't know who is the one who will accept her at the end to marry her, because many of them to try even to get a husband, not to date. But because the society is a secret society. There's two, the Islamic society have two faces. There's the outside and there's the inside. And the inside is extremely ugly. The outside look like the marble covering the grave. You know how beautiful the marble is? Rich people, they put marble over their grave, but having marble will not change the fact that this is a grave. So we can build a beautiful grave, but the grave is a grave. And this is how the Islamic society is. So when you hear a Muslim sheikh speaking about the Western are adulterous, the Western are disgusting, the Western, they have sex in the street, the Western. If I go right now and search in YouTube, if I type 2 words, you will go crazy. You will not believe what you will see. If I know that YouTube will not take my video down, I can show you. But I will type for you a word in the text, you can copy it, and you can search yourself. I will type the word into text in Arabic. You can search for this word, just one word. Just one is enough. You will find millions and millions and millions of videos of Muslim women doing things you cannot believe. But remember, all of them, they are wearing hijab. We have to be honest. They are very conservative. Very conservative. Hijab, my friend. We are conservative people. So let us make it simple and clear. A society says, or a religion says, that a woman, she wear a perfume. Just by doing that, she is a whore. And then we find that everything upside down. The man, he can have a perfume. The man, he can look at women. The man, he can get horny. The man, he can get excited. The man, he can do whatever he want. But the women is the always one to blame. This is a very corrupt society. There's no dignity in this society, and they blame the women for every evil, when the fact Islam making sexuality is a major reason to live. Why I want to pray to God? Why? You know, is that because I want to go and be happy with God? No, I want to have virgins. I want to have the sex. I want to have the women. I want to have the private party he promised me to have, an endless private penis. So Islam made sex the reason to live. In Christianity, the reason to go to heaven, to be with the Lord, for he will provide us happiness we cannot describe. Happiness have nothing to do with our private part and our belly. But in Islam, your happiness is about your stomach, about your penis. The happiness is about you being abusing others. You know, when the Quran says that Allah will give you 80,000 in the interpretation, 80,000 servant, little boy, and they are boys. This one have no translation. Let us see this one. The least of the people of paradise, the least in position, that's the bad ones, with 80,000 servants and 72 wives. So look at this. If you ask the Muslims what is the servants, they will say to you they are boys. The Quran described them as young youth who they are very white, extremely white, and they will not bleed. Okay, so I will have 80,000 little child, little boy who is very white like pearls, and obviously he is there for sex too, because the Muslims, if you remember, we have many callers before, and the Muslims, all of them agree, not one even did not, that in heaven, yes, you can have sex with anything you want, even your mother, your sister, the children, doesn't matter. You remember? So you will have 80,000. Now what kind of God, in order, because I did obey him by bowing down to him, he will give me the opportunity to abuse 80,000 little child for eternity. 80,000. Islam heaven enjoy abuse of children and abuse of women. Here he says, this is, by the way, remember, those are the lowest, this is the least, this is the bad Muslims, those are not the good Muslims. They will get this. There's 100 rank in Islam, so this is rank, the lowest rank. 80,000 boy, and then 72 women who they will be your sex slave, women you never met, women which Allah created just for sex. And what make it more ugly, Muhammad, he claimed that those women, Allah will take jealousy from their heart, which means they will be literally sex toys. They have no jealousy, they have no emotion, they are just there to take off their panty. Actually, they have no panty at all, and they are women they are so white to the point you can see their bones, because Muhammad was racist and he knew the Arab, they like white women, so he exaggerated about how white they are. So he said that those women, they will be white to the point we can see the marrow of their bones. As you see in front of you in the hadith. So those women, you will see, they will be so pure, transparent. By the way, it's not about being pure. They will be so white. They are so beautiful to the point you can see the marrow of their bones and their legs through their flesh. So this religion not only put the women as a sex toy, not only make it as just a reward for sex, not only it make it like a machine just to enjoy and to throw, and like it's like you are a man who have a remote control controlling everybody around you. You have 80,000 little child to satisfy you. You have a lot of women who they are made just for sex. And by the way, all those women, they have one name, Hur. All of them, they have one voice, they have one look, one face, and they have one height, and they have one shape, which is very stupid, because what the point of sleeping with 1,000 women if all of them they look the same? I mean, that's it. One of them is the same. They have exactly, it's exactly the same woman. So Islam teach you and encourage you to be an abuser of children and women, and make you a person who worship vagina, not God. What is the purpose of serving Allah? Is the vagina, is not obeying Allah. I want to get the reward. What about Allah don't mention the vagina, and let us see how many of them they will stay as a Muslim. Then after they go there, give them the reward, which is surprise, surprise. You know what I mean? If Muhammad did not mean by mentioning the vagina and the size of the penis and the power of the penis is not important, why you mention it? Make it a surprise for them, no problem. You want to make them have an endless penis, okay, give them that. But when they go there, but not now. If you mention that now, there's many people, they will go to Islam because they are perverted, and this is exactly the purpose. The purpose is to tempt you with sexuality so you can blind. You see, when you are under temptation, you don't calculate your consequence and you don't think. You are just tempted now. When you are under the influence of temptation, you don't mind to put a suicide belt and explode yourself between the bunch of people, because now you want to go to heaven. The guy, he told you the second, Muhammad, he said, the second your first drop of a blood came out from your body, you are already in heaven. This is what he told them. A person who is dying, the second his blood he started bleeding, he is now going to heaven. So everybody want to die. Why those poor people want to stay in this earth? To get what? To go to work? To work all day to get a few dollars in their pocket? What about I die now, I kill the infidels, and then Allah will take me to heaven? And this is what it's called the human sacrifice. You see, the Muslim, they lie. They say Christianity believe in a human sacrifice. That's a lie. Human sacrifice, if I sacrifice somebody, as simple as that. If I say, okay, we will bring you a guy, we will kill him so God will be happy. This is not the story in Christianity. In Christianity, Jesus, he said, nobody can take myself from me. I lay down myself. So nobody force him. which means I am not the one who sacrifice him, and it's not a part of belief that you sacrifice somebody to God and this body is one of us. Jesus is not one of us. Jesus for us is God himself. So what the sacrifice is speaking about, that Jesus, because he loves us, he knew they will kill him, yet he don't mind that such a crucifixion will happen. Extreme love. So in Christianity, God himself, he sacrificed himself. It's not sacrificing of a human being. In Islam, you have to kill so Allah will get happy. This is a human sacrifice. Why if I kill infidels Allah will be happy? Because he need a human sacrifice. He enjoy blood shed. Why God don't do that? If Allah is God, why he don't go and kill the infidels? Why he needed to fight for him and kill for him, and that will make him happy? What about he make himself happy? The Quran confirm everything we say. The Quran says قاتلوهم يعذبهم الله بأيديكم. Fight them, Allah he torture them by your hands. Do you see it? Chapter 9 verse number 14. Kill them and torture them. First translation, by the way, here it says يعذبهم, not punish them. Allah will torture them by your hands. Allah will torture them. Allah he enjoy the torture. And that because Allah is a fake God. Because if Allah is a true God, why he need a poor Abdul like you to die for him, do a human sacrifice, blood sacrifice, so he enjoy his meal in the heaven? What about he kill us? As long he is God, he's almighty, he's powerful. Do he need you to fight for him and kill us? So Muhammad he put in the mind of those people that Allah he ordered you to kill them because he punish you by your hands. This is why you see in different verse in the Quran it says وَمَا رَمَيْتُ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. You will see every single member of ISIS or Al-Qaeda or terrorist in Syria or in Iraq repeating this verse before he slaughters somebody. Always before they slaughter somebody they say we did not, because Allah told them in the Quran chapter 8 verse number 17, you Muslim you slew them not, but Allah he slew them. So a Muslim, when he put his knife, a terrorist, he put his knife in the neck of somebody and he slaughter him, he repeat that exact verse. وَمَا رَمَيْتُ وَمَا رَمَيْتُ إِذْ رَمَيْتُ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. I did not throw my arrow, I did not slaughter you, but Allah he slaughter you. And Muhammad he made this verse for them just to make them feel comfortable, for free of guilt. So you slaughters thousands of people, no problem. It's not you who killed them, it's Allah. Don't worry about it. It's not you who killed them, it's Allah who killed them. And this is why you see every day in the news. I mean, can you find one day you don't see an explosion, terrorist attack somewhere in the world? Not a single day. For all of them, they want to go to heaven and get the vagina. This is why I say Islam is nothing but the religion of vagina. Have nothing to do with God, have nothing to do with ethic, have nothing to do with morality, have to do only with sexuality. All the purpose of it, Muhammad he used the vagina to tempt men to kill for him, and he will be victorious. And now the cult continue. Muhammad is dead and he got what he can get, but now you will be punished because of the cult of Muhammad. The vagina temptation will never end. Every day there's many, you will notice that those who have education, they don't really do suicide bombing. As an example, mostly Osama bin Laden, as an example, he's an engineer, but he don't go and do suicide bombing by himself. The guy, he was hiding between goats and chickens. So he asked his men, the poor ones, to go and do suicide bombing, but he himself, he will not do that. The one now who took after him, Al-Zawahiri, is a doctor. He's very highly educated, but yet he will not do suicide bombing. He will ask for a poor Abdul to suicide himself, because they themselves, they are not convinced really with Islam. Islam is great for you if you are a leader, because you take advantage of others and you make people die for you. Did you ask yourself why Osama bin Laden, he did not join the 19 when they attacked 9/11? Did you ask yourself why he hid? Why he don't want to die as a hero? Why he don't want to die in the field as a shaheed, as a martyr? As long as he is convinced that the martyr is higher than a normal man who die in his chair.